The Vietnam War was a hugely important event in the 20th century history of the United States. Many, many Americans have important stories to tell about their own lives and their own experiences, which can teach us a great deal about what was happening in the United States at that time.
So the Dartmouth Vietnam Project is an experiential learning program that focuses on collecting oral histories from the Dartmouth community.
So this is Elena Ridker. I'm sitting with John Everett. It is August 7th and it's about 2 o'clock and we're sitting in Rauner Library.
I was over 40 years back from Vietnam and it was only the second time anybody'd asked.
So what was it like? Import in Cameron, it was busy. You had to coordinate the work of all of your men, make sure everything was working, make sure...
We started the interview and it kind of just went where it went. And being able to talk to John and the other veterans that I interviewed opened up an entirely other way of thinking about the Vietnam War that I wouldn't have gotten from the classroom or from reading a book, just given that these are actual, real stories.
To become acquainted with this kind of information as a history major only benefited her education.
One of the things that I think students find appealing about the Dartmouth Vietnam Project is that the work that they do for the project, the interviews that they produce, become part of Rauner Library's regular collection of Dartmouth College oral history interviews. And those interviews are going to be preserved forever.
And they really get excited about their role in documenting this particular event in the college's history, the nation's history, the world's history. They really start to feel it.
I think you have greater sense of responsibility in that you're the one who are taking in charge to create this record, and then you're the one who's really asking the right questions to the interviewees so that we can best have the experiences that they had in our record.
And saw a commotion over at the administration building. And went over, and Dave Greening was there, and he came to the door with a megaphone. He said, "We're going to lock the doors in 5 minutes." And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "We're protesting the end of the war." I said, "All right." So I went in, and we occupied the building for 12 hours and then got arrested.
When we were going through all the questions and the questions that would come upon the next questions, it made me have to go back and really remember in a different way from the way I would normally remember these things, some specifics.
The way we approached it was more that this is an actual story that you're going to be recording. This is an actual interview that you're going to be running, and therefore it's not a classroom exercise. And it's just the simple fact that you are dealing with real people and the fact that you are talking about very real events that had huge impact on, well, pretty much everyone's life in this country.
I hope that students carry forward with them from DVP the excitement of being a part of historical creation, the excitement of being a part of creating new historical sources and recording history, and how thrilling it can be to be a part of that process.
If we don't collect these oral history narratives, then they might not end up being collected. So our students are really doing a service, not just to the college, but to future generations of students and researchers and teachers who will be using these oral histories to understand the events of the Vietnam era.